Hello and welcome back to HITC Football. It's your host Rev Boy coming straight back at you with another video. Happy Friday. Everyone loves a Friday. We all love a Friday. But unfortunately, I've still got to make videos on a Friday, which means I've got to make them and you've got to watch them. So I've gone through the effort of making it, so you might as well stick around and watch the whole thing. And I'll tell you why, because today we are doing one player your Premier League club needs to sell. We did buy a couple of weeks ago and you just loved it. I got some lovely feedback. Some people agreed, some people really didn't agree at all, but that's the beauty of opinion. But today we are going to jump in and do every single club. We're going to just go in. I know you like alphabetical order, but let me just come here for a minute. Come on. I'm going to tell you why I don't do alphabetical, okay? And yes, I know I need a haircut really badly. I'm aware of that. If anybody's a barber or is willing to, give me a discount, please let me know. HITC are not paying me very well, and last night I had to eat my dinner out of a bin. But anyway, the reason I do it is so you have to watch the whole video and you can't see where your club is, because if it's alphabetical, you don't know. Win for me, and also win for you, because then you get to see every other team and go, and expand and purify your football knowledge, so maybe then you can be a better pundit yourself at home. But anyway, as I said, let's crack straight into it with our first team, and our first team is going to be Arsenal. And for Arsenal, I'm going to go for Nicolas Pepe. Nicolas Pepe, when he came in, everybody was really, really excited because he was fantastic for Lille. The Ivorian is now 27 years old, which, is getting on a little bit, and he should be coming into his prime, and we've seen him be really, really good at times, and then other times we ain't. His transfer value has plummeted since joining Arsenal as well. So he was 72 million when they signed him, and basically for his whole contract, if he decides to stay, it's going to cost Arsenal another 36.4 million. So in retrospect, by getting him in, and if he stays for the 5 seasons, he will cost him well over 100 million pounds. I'm not being bad, and I'm being honest. 148 games played for Arsenal and only 27 goals scored. Not what you expect for, over 100 million pounds. That is quite a lot of money. So for me, get him out while he's still worth something, and yeah, because he ain't playing. Saka's better, Smith Rowe's better, Martinelli's better. There's no place for Pepe there, really, in my opinion, for the money he's on. So Pepe, bye-bye. And up next we have Aston Villa. And Aston Villa we have Danny Ings. I love Danny Ings to absolute bits. He was a monster for Southampton, an absolute beautiful player to watch, the complete and utter poacher that any Premier League club would want. But since going to Aston Villa for the guts of £30 million, he has been lacklustre, and he hasn't been a Danny Ings we've seen in a Southampton shirt. So Danny Ings, he's still got a lot of respect, and he's still got, a lot of teams fishing around him, and there's a lot of teams in the Premiership that need a striker that can score Premier League goals, and we know how the market is. He's an English player as well, which, he means he takes up English player slots in teams, so he's still worth a few p. You could easily see 30 million being spent for him again, and Aston Villa getting their money back, and maybe going for a younger option up front, or maybe signing somebody else in. Apparently they're things with Luis Suarez, which would be insane to have Coutinho and Suarez in the same team, especially at Aston Villa. But with that being said, I just feel like it's Ings. He just came in. It may be easier for him next season. Maybe he was expected to sort of carry Villa and score a load of goals, and it just didn't work out for him. But Danny Ings, I really, really do love you, mate, but I think you should go. And up next we have Chelsea, my club, because I'm so biased about them apparently. I've seen the comments, Chelsea bias, Chelsea bias, Chelsea bias, Chelsea bias, Chelsea bias. I'm not Chelsea biased. I just, people get passionate about their own team. There's loads of different creators out there that, back and support their team, So I'm sorry that I do a lot of Premier League content, and Chelsea are a respectable team. They get third. They won the Champions League last season. So just calm down on that. I'm not that biased. But what I am biased about? Lukaku out. Get out. Sell him for 5 mil. I don't care. Get him out. What he said, that interview, I want to go back to Inter Milan. Well, then go back to Inter Milan. Go. They're trying to work out a loan deal for you. If we can get any money back, fantastic. So Chelsea paid 100 million for Lukaku last season. 100 million? Just hold on to that for a minute. Hold it. To score 8 Premier League goals. 8 Premier League goals. I'm not good at maths, but let's ask Google. Google, what is 100 million divided by 8?
The answer is 12,500,000.
That's how much Chelsea paid for each Lukaku got. Get him out. We've got Broja. Give him a go. Bring back Tammy. Just bring back Tammy. We've got a buyback for like 60 mil. Just go get Tammy. Bring him in. Lukaku, just no. The interview didn't work out for you. Your performances on the pitch didn't work out for you. I don't know what it is about his diet or something. He looked like a lean killing machine over in Inter Milan, but since he's came back to London, he's obviously hitting the fish and chips really heavy. So Lukaku, just bye-bye. Now, we are 3 teams in. I should have said this in the intro, so please, please, please don't hurt me. Please, I'm sorry. Don't hurt me. But I'm not going to do the teams that came up. I'm not going to be doing Fulham, Nottingham Forest, or Bournemouth. And why? They haven't been in the Prem. So it's hard for me to sit here and say, they need to sell this player, but they did this, they did that. You don't know. There's certain players that, you know, come up to the Prem and do really, really well and weren't amazing in the Championship. And then you get players that are absolutely amazing in the Championship, come up and do terribly. So I'm not going to put my neck on the line that much because you can be such lovely people to me in the comments and I don't really want to risk it for a chocolate biscuit. If you get me. Yeah, I'm going to skip them 3 teams just so you know. Next season, if you stay up, you might get in. But this season, I'm just going to leave you. So I'm doing the 17 teams from 17th to 1st. But crack it straight into it with the next team. Crystal Palace. Now, I'm not being bad with Crystal Palace. A lot of Crystal Palace fans are going to hate me for this one. But I think it's time for Zaha to go. He's been there. He's had so many, you know, I want to leave. I want to do this. He'd moan. He'd complain. He wants to go. He wants to go. He's got a year left on his contract, okay? Contract gone soon. So he's going to be leaving on a free anyway. So if you can cash in on him this summer, get anywhere from, you know, maybe 25 to 50 mil. I could see anywhere that. I think 25 be a bit on the cheap side, but with a year left on his contract, I don't know. There are suitors for him, of course there is. He's a quality player on his day, and he's in his prime now. He's absolutely in his prime. He's a good signing for most Premier League clubs, in my opinion, and even maybe a trip abroad somewhere, he would absolutely smash it. So yes, he's a brilliant player, you know, but I think it's time. I just think with the year left, he ain't going to sign a new contract. Get your money in and go in for somebody else more younger, exciting, or maybe just go for a different sort of player. I don't know, but for me, I just think it's time now for Zaha to move on from Palace. So Zaha, out you go. Brighton! This one's pretty simple. I've said this one before with your club's highest paid player video, which I will stick a card up there for you. A long time ago, well before the green screen, well before, you know, 4 or 5 uploads a week, but yeah, it stays the same. Adam Lallana at Brighton, you gotta go. He takes up 10% of the team's salary across all the players, all the staff, everything. He takes up 10% of that club's outgoing rate. And I'm sorry, for a couple of goals and a couple of assists a season, which, you know, is being polite, no, get him off the wage bill and it'll give Brighton an opportunity to maybe add an extra 50-60 grand onto, you know, a bigger player to try and entice him to come in. You know what I mean? And Brighton do need a striker at the moment, in my opinion. Welbeck can be decent, Maupay can be decent, but they need to bring in a striker. And if they want to get an experienced striker, maybe they go for Danny Ings. Might be a shout. Graham Potter, I think we'll get the best out of Danny Ings. Alright, Graham Potter. I like him, you know. Respect to Graham Potter. Get him the England job now, please. Southgate out, Southgate out, Southgate out. But anyway, as I was saying, yeah, Adam Lallana, get out. Ain't worth it. Up next, we have Brentford. Now, it's a similar scenario. I don't know if this is like a London club thing and, you know, they're strikers. But Ivan Toney has spoke so much crap about Brentford, and everyone's still like, oh, if they can keep a hold of, you know, of Ivan Toney, they'll stay up. I wouldn't want him there if I was a Brentford fan. If you're a Brentford fan, you're watching, give me your thoughts and opinions down in the comment section about Ivan Toney. But it's been, what, 2-3 times now he's came out with, you know, Snapchat stories and been caught in people's lives and stuff, you know, saying Brentford, Brentford, Brentford. Like, I don't know if it's some sort of like rap song or something, like, you know, he's sitting there and he's like, I want to go and play for Watford. Yeah, I told you so. I want out this club, don't you know? Cause it's me, yeah, Ivan Toney. Why don't you call me Ivan Tuney? Cause I'm on the tune and the mic. I wanna get out of the club and play for Sean Dyche, yeah. Ivan Toney, he is English, so he's got that English player tax on him. There'll be clubs that would take him, maybe like the likes of Brighton, maybe like the likes of, you know, Aston Villa. There's teams there that would take him. Fulham have the money to bring him in. Even the likes of Fulham might have the money to do it. Maybe Nottingham Forest might have the likes, you know, the money to bring him in. He clearly doesn't like the club. He said it too much. In my opinion, it's disrespectful. They pay your wage. They brought you in. The fans adore you. Loads of, you know, neutrals, you know, not Brentford supporters want you to stay because they think the club will do better if you do stay. And you're coming out with that stuff. It's sort of the same stuff as Lukaku for me. So if you disrespect the club, just go, get the money, make sure the club gets the money out of you. You go have your career somewhere else where you clearly want to be. So yeah, Ivan Toney, Brentford, See you later. Next up, there's a bit of a running theme in this video, I've just noticed. A lot of the players that should go are English. I don't know if that's a good or a bad thing, but we're going to Manchester United, and there's only one man. Starts with a H, ends with a Y. Harry Maguire! I don't know what to say. I think he can be quality on his day. I think he's still got a career ahead of him if he makes the right move and he can go somewhere and play in a back three. Doesn't get pressure with the captain's armband. It's just Maguire. The fans don't want him there. I don't think he really wants to be there anymore. He's still worth a bit of P as well, so Harry Maguire, innit? Next we have Wolves, and with Wolves I'm going to go with a different sort of pick here, but I'm going to go for Adama Traore. He went to Barcelona, he was pure happy, everyone seemed chuffed, you know, Spanish boy going home, he was there when he was younger. It seemed like a match made in heaven, but it didn't really work out that way. He's, you know, being kicked back to Wolves now. Barcelona aren't making the move permanent, which they had the option to do so, and now Leeds are heavily linked with him. You know, obviously Wolves were letting him go for a pretty cheap price. You know, there was a lot of people that wanted him, but yeah, it looks like he's going to go to Leeds. Leeds are very interested now in him for the guts of about 20 million. So that'd be an interesting signing for Leeds. But for Wolves, as I said, he's gone. He's come back now. Obviously, he's not rated in Wolves anymore or at Wolves. Hence why he went to Barca in the first place on that loan move. So for me, Adama Traore. See you later. Hello. If you've made it halfway through the video, I would appreciate it greatly if you could hit the subscribe button. It's greatly appreciated and it lets me know that you're enjoying the video. Also, on that note, leave a comment as well. Let me know how wrong I am or how right I am and how much you love me down in the comment section. That would be absolutely appreciated greatly. And on top of that, while you're at it, slap a big like on it. It'd be greatly appreciated. I'd love it ever so much. But if you can do that, just do it all. Thank you. Bye. Now, this is a bit of a sad one because this, you know, player was brilliant. You know, he picked up that injury and he hasn't been the same since. And we are at Everton, of course. For me, it's Seamus Coleman. He's past his best. He's lost his legs. Could still get some sort of a fee for him, I guess. But I think for that backline at Everton to, you know, progress now under a new coach, they need to either find somewhere else for Coleman to play in the team because he can't really do right back or left back anymore. And then, you know, they need to bring in somebody new. So I just think it's sort of time, and I think Everton fans will agree with me here. I just think it's time for Coleman to move on. He's been a great servant to your club. I'll always have respect for him for, you know, what he did for Ireland and how he captained the country. And I'm sure Everton fans will feel the same way in regards to how he captained your club. But quite an emotional one, I guess it would be, and quite a sad one because it's through no fault of his own. You know, he was one of the best, you know, right backs in the Premier League at one point, in my opinion. But unfortunately, I think his time's just sort of ran out at Everton, and they need to, you know, invest in younger talent now to take them up into that, you know, back to where they should be or back where they used to be, and not, you know, battling relegation. So Seamus Coleman, I think it's time, mate. Next we go to Leeds, and it's Junior. It's Firpo. He's just, you know, he's one of them players that just hasn't been good enough. You know, I've heard a lot of Leeds fans not be happy with him. You know, he's been mentioned in, you know, people's most disappointing signings of the seasons. I've seen a lot of that, and there's just really nothing notable. 24 appearances in the Premier League, the 2 assists, fair enough, but not great defensively, not amazing going forward. He's just not been great. I'm going to keep that one short and sweet. Really, Leeds fans, if you don't agree with me, let me know. But I think Firpo, he's still young, you know, he's been at Barcelona. That'll always, you know, give him some sort of value. So you would be able to get something for him, even if it's in a swap deal or cash plus exchange. There'll be teams that take him. He might be alright as a second choice fullback somewhere, but Leeds don't need that really. And yeah, Firpo, nah. See you later. A similar situation here for Leicester City, for the Foxes. Yuri Tielemans, he's not going to go and sign a new contract. It's been, you know, on the table for a while. You know, he wants to go to a big club. You know, he wants to win trophies. And I think he has the quality to do so. Where he goes, nobody knows. But I think it's time, once again, for Leicester. I think there's a thing with, you know, teams outside the top sort of 5-6 where, yes, Leicester have been, but not currently, where when you get players and you know, bring them in on, you know, cheaper, and then they have their prime with you, and then you've got the option to sell them on, where you can reinvest and repeat that cycle and maybe once or twice break that barrier, which Leicester have done. I think that's just smart business, and that's sort of that part of the table's problem. Anywhere from sort of kind of 10th to 7th, you kind of have that problem where, you know, you can have talent, but it's very hard to keep them. And then, you know, if you are in them positions, you're not, you know, financially the most stable. You're not Man City, you're not Chelsea, you know, you're not Newcastle. So I think once again, it's time for him to go. He's been a brilliant servant. I'll never forget that strike he scored against Chelsea in the FA Cup. He's a class act, but he ain't going to sign a new contract. You might as well sell him now, get some money for him to reinvest instead of just letting him go on a free. So Yuri Tielemans out of Leicester, mate. Who let the cat out of the bag? Kurt Zouma did. Oh, it feels nice to bring that joke back now. It's dust has settled a little bit. It's not as controversial as it was.
Ooh, controversy.
It's back. You don't know how long I've been wanting to get that back in videos, you know. I overused it a bit too much. I think there was like, when I first started on the channel, it was like a week worth of videos, like 7 videos, and I'd put it in like 14 times. So, you know, quality over quantity. But yeah, Kurt Zouma. He's a really good player. Can I go for Kurt Zouma? I just think there's a bit of a hatred there now with the fans and Kurt Zouma. That's why I think, you know, it might be worthwhile letting him go. But then again, who's going to sign him? It's not good PR for any team to sign him right now. I'm going to go for Yarmolenko. Yarmolenko, you know, scored a fantastic goal against Scotland. Really, really good player. But he doesn't really play anymore for the Hammers. He's just not direct enough. He's not quick enough. He can be a little bit slow at times, a little bit sluggish. He's sort of one of them players, you know, like a Balotelli, like a Ziyech, where when they're on it, they're on the ball. But then when they're not, they kind of, you know, go missing a little bit. He's kind of like that, you know, he's there in the moment player. He ain't an everywhere type of player. So I think Yarmolenko, yeah, they could get, you know, money for him. You know, you could always send him back over to a Ukrainian team. There'd definitely be interest from the likes of, you know, Dynamo Kiev and teams like that. But yeah, no, Yarmolenko for me, I think, yeah, if not, maybe go down a little bit to the ladder, maybe a little bit lower, maybe get games, you know, if he went to Fulham or to, you know, maybe Nottingham Forest, he could get some games there. I don't think he is championship quality, because on his day he can be lethal and he's fantastic in a Ukrainian shirt. But yeah, Yarmolenko for me. Bit of a tough one this time. Next we move on to Liverpool. Just after signing Nunes. I think he's overpaid a little bit, but he does look promising, and I hope it works out for you very, very much over in Merseyside. But for me, one player you need to sell at Anfield this season is Joe Gomez. Joe Gomez was a prodigy. He was going to be fantastic. He could play centre-back, he could play right-back, he's going to be brilliant. Injury prone. He's not good enough to play right-back. I don't think he has like the legs in general. He's not going to get as far forward and give the same delivery as Trent does. He's never going to be to that level at right-back. And centre-back now, he's gone down the pecking order. He's down to 4th, 5th choice now, with the, you know, Matip having a huge resurgence, with Van Dijk coming back to be so consistent again, with Konate being, in my opinion, one of the signings of last season. I think Konate is absolutely fantastic. But yeah, no, I think they need to let Joe Gomez go. Another English player, I know, I trust me, there's no anti-English sentiment here. But if you think there is, in this one, check out this video. You definitely might think there is here. So check that video out. But anyway, as I was saying, yeah, Joe Gomez just hasn't been fantastic. Injury prone as well. There would still be clubs interested in him that would pay money. So I think Joe Gomez getting out of Liverpool would make sense. Liverpool can make money off it. He ain't playing as it is. Yeah, he is okay as 3rd or 4th choice, but there's cheaper alternatives you can go for. So Joe Gomez out of the pool. Next, we have Manchester City. And Manchester City, there's 2. I'm going to go for a double pick here, seeing we missed out on 3 teams. I'll give you some double picks. I'm going to go with Raheem Sterling and Gabriel Jesus. I'll tell you why. Sterling didn't play that much last season. Jesus is looking like he's not going to play a lot this season with Haaland coming in. But you never know with, you know, injuries and bits and pieces like that. But I think, you know, Jesus, youngish still, you know, coming into the prime of his career, really. And he's been good for City, and he's had some fantastic spells. I mean, that City team is stocked full of talent, and he's always pulled his weight to some degree. So I think it'd be nice for Jesus to go somewhere and become the main man. I think he has that potential ability. So for the player, yes, it makes sense, and for City, it makes sense too. They'll be able to cash in big time on Jesus for what they paid for him originally. Then with Raheem Sterling, once again, another English player. I don't know what's going on, but they just seem to make the most sense. Raheem Sterling didn't play that much last season. He still is quality without a doubt. He could go rip it up at any other Premier League club. Where he goes is a very, very interesting thing. He's been linked with Chelsea apparently. He's been linked with Arsenal. He's been linked with PSG. He's been linked with Real Madrid since they didn't get Mbappe. So Raheem Sterling would be an interesting one. But once again, I don't think he's going to get as much game time as he needs, wants or deserves. And he's worth money. And City spend a lot of money, but, you know, these teams do need to make returns at the end of the day. Maybe not City, but it looks good if they make returns. And it helps them, you know, if they do sell them, that they can use that money then to go and buy more because of FFP. But yeah, Manchester City, Jesus, Sterling, City fans, let me know down there. So Southampton is a bit of a tricky one. Has to be a winger. Think about, you know, Gineppo, Teller, Walcott, Redmond. They don't really do much. It's just kind of the way Southampton play. You know, it's really about getting the fullbacks forward. Hence why, you know, Livramento has been so good and was such a good signing for him. We always see Southampton fullbacks play well and get a lot of assists and goals. And it's just the way they play. There's nothing against, you know, against Ralph Hasenhüttl. He's a great coach in my opinion. You know, other than his one, you know, really bad thrashing he seems to concede every year at the hands of some club. But yeah, no, I think out of all of them, I don't know. I'm not going to pick one. Any of them wingers. I just think being a winger, and I don't know who's the most promising. Probably Teller. Teller's probably the most promising. So I'll go for Teller. I just think he's, you know, quite a good player, and I think playing in that Southampton team is going to be very, very hard for any winger to really, you know, grow and show their potential in that system that Hasenhüttl plays. Now, that being said, he could change it up next season, but they have been quite rigid and play similar football every year under Hasenhüttl. But we'll see. Managers have to change it up sometimes, so if he decides to change it up, go for anyone else in the team, but at the moment I'll go for Teller. On to our last two teams, and let's do two at once. So for Newcastle, we're going to go for Almiron. 3 seasons in the Prem, 9 goals, 3 assists. Just ain't good enough. He came in, he was, you know, something promising, and at times he showed some class, but most of the time he ain't there. They've got money to spend, he's in a creative position going forward, so I'm sure they'll get much better players in. If you want to see who I think they will get in, click this card. This card here will take you to the video I did a week and a half ago, telling you which player your team needs to sign. So check that one out if you like this one. And then let's finally go to Tottenham. Tottenham, I said this in, I think, worst player of the season, my first ever video on the channel, and I said Harry Winks was Tottenham's worst player. A, because he wasn't playing, and B, when he does play, he's not fantastic. Harry Winks needs to go. Simple as. He doesn't suit that team anymore. The team's outgrown him in quality, in my opinion. He's still not a bad player, Winks, and you never know. There's players that go missing and then come back in and boom. We've seen it a good few times happen with loads of clubs with loads of different players. But for me, Harry Winks just needs to get a move somewhere where he could get some game time again. He's not too old, so he can definitely go and, you know, prosper somewhere else. But I don't know, maybe a Bournemouth. I think a Bournemouth move would make sense for Harry Winks. So yeah, and with Harry Winks, I'm gonna wink at you, because that's the end of the video. Hope you enjoyed it ever so much. If the green screen hasn't been used in this, it's just because at the angle I couldn't get, you know, to work with, you know, the stuff and all that. And then on top of that, just because it's a bit late, it's on wheels and I have neighbours, and yes, I know this is my job, but also I need somewhere to live. As I said at the start of the video, it's, you know, things aren't easy right now. But you can make them easier for me by hitting the subscribe button. Look at it, it's going everywhere. I can't catch it. Where's the subscribe button? Come here. I'll call it. Hit it. Oh, don't hit this one. Hit that one down there. Thank you. Or you can hit the one at the end screen, which is going to come right now. Hope you enjoyed it. Bye.